For 605 here with head coach Charlie Lamb of the Spearfish Girls. Charlie, thanks for being with us today.
Sure, my pleasure, Randy.
You know, we just finished up a very, very even game between you and Washington, and you got to feel pretty good, though, about how your girls kept their composure and stayed in the game.
Yeah, it was a battle, and we knew it would be a fight both ways, and it was tough giving them that goal on a scramble in the box, and we should have had it stopped, but the girls didn't ever let down. They kept after it, and they fought until the 79th minute or whenever we got that equalizer.
Well, that went in at 79, and then they stopped the clock, so the game probably went on for 3 minutes past that, but I mean, it was final moments.
Yeah, it was. And we had been pushing the last 8 or 9 minutes, and so it was a great chance for us to switch our thinking and try to focus on attacking and putting high pressure on them, and the girls really responded, and we had a couple of other shots that their keeper made great saves on at the end also.
Yeah, well, both keepers came up pretty big. You know, the game would have looked a lot different if not for a couple of really good saves on each end of the field.
Yeah, both coaches are a little exhausted. You know, we don't like to see our keepers have to make that many plays, but both keepers really stepped up to the challenge.
You know, watching the game, I was really impressed that, Danielle got this Washington team last year, and they had a pretty tough year, but, you can see that they're starting to play like one of his teams. They take care of that ball, and that's pretty frustrating to play against, isn't it?
Yeah, and they moved the ball around really well, and they did a lot of two-touch, three-touch passing, and you can tell that's what he's trying to get their team to do. And, so they possessed the ball for large parts of the game, and I knew that going in that they'd have that kind of a team. And so we withdrew and let them work it around and then tried to pick our chances and step in and take the ball and not give them anything easy. And so I think that's why the score was as low as it was.
Well, both teams did a nice job defensively. I mean, your girls, just like theirs, they bent a few times, but they never really broke down any. And I think Washington probably won the corner count, but that's basically the way that they were playing the game.
Yeah, and when it would get through to the back, it was usually on a long play, and so our defenders had to scramble all the way back to get to it, and they were losing the ball over the end line for corner kicks. And you certainly can't fault them for the equalizing goal because that was right under the post in the corner. So everybody did what they could. It was just a really nice shot.
Yeah, and, just a really nice game to watch. The girls, from both teams played as hard as they could. They tried everything they could to do to win. I think the center did a good job in letting them play, but not letting it get out of control.
Yeah, and there was never any animosity either way. During the game, everybody was really focused on the soccer. It was a great weather, great pitch, and two teams that were just playing hard to play hard. They were loving the game, and so it's great to watch.
Well, you got St. Thomas More coming up, a little revenge factor going on there. The girls are talking about they want to get back on that loss from last year. So, we're sure looking forward to seeing the result of that.
Yeah, I won't call it revenge factor. We're just focused on the big picture and each week playing a little bit better and working on the things we need to. Our goal, and it was the same last year when we met St. Thomas More, our goal is to prepare for the play-in games and the state tournament. And so that's what we'll be looking at when we play that game.
Well, it's never too early to start thinking about it. The season's already a fourth over.
And it's, it comes down to the end of the season, and nobody knows better than we do that it's a crapshoot getting into those. So I don't even think about that game yet. I think about, okay, this week, what do we need to work on? How do we need to become a more complete team?
Well, one thing I've been thinking about here recently, and, it's about a former player of yours, a player named Kelsey Lamb, one of my favorite girl players. How is she doing? Tell us a little bit about where she is and how she's doing.
Well, she's playing for Cal State East Bay, a D2 team in the California Collegiate Athletic Association, and they had their first game last night, a non-conference game, and she played 90 minutes. She switched from striker to outside back, and she had a blast. And she was the only player playing 90 minutes. And I tell you, to all the girls out there, that's because this summer she was religious about doing everything she could to be fit. And when she showed up for practice, she was ready to take on anything the coach could throw at her. And living out in the Bay Area, San Francisco, she's having a great time. I'm jealous.
Well, I am kind of too, and very, very proud. You know, that's one girl who never faked her way through anything. She earned every little bit of stuff she ever got on the soccer field.
Yeah, she did, and she still is. And she wants to make sure that she works hard for everything she gets. So I'm really happy for her.
Well, Kelsey, I know you're going to be watching this, and I know it's very unprofessional, but congratulations from old Coach McKee. We're keeping our eye on you, and we're very proud of you. Coach Lamb, thanks again very much for spending some time with us today, and we'll be following you closely from here on out.
My pleasure. A couple of homers here. Thanks, Randy.
Thank you.